Breaking free from the chains of perfectionism. Do you ever feel like what you do is never enough? Like no matter how much effort you put in, there's always that voice in your head whispering you could have done better? That's the exhausting and often invisible weight of perfectionism. It's more than just wanting to do well. It's the relentless chase for an ideal that doesn't exist. Perfectionism isn't about being excellent, it's about being afraid of judgment, of failure, and of not being worthy of love or respect unless everything you do is flawless. And yet, no matter how hard we strive, perfectionism keeps moving the goalposts. It robs us of our joy, our confidence, and our ability to connect with others authentically. It's not just about missed deadlines or overworking yourself. I know this struggle deeply. There were days when I wouldn't share my ideas because I thought they weren't good enough. Nights when I'd lie awake, replaying conversations in my head, obsessing over what I could have said differently. I remember working on a project for weeks, tweaking every little detail, only to miss the bigger picture. And the result? Burnout, anxiety, a constant feeling of never being enough. But here's what I've learned. Perfectionism is not the path to success. It's a trap. It's a thief of happiness, connection, and growth. But we can break free. It starts with understanding that perfectionism isn't about being great. It's about fear. And the antidote to fear is self-compassion. You don't have to be perfect to be valuable. You don't have to prove your worth through flawless execution. You are already enough, just as you are. The first step to breaking free is to embrace failure. Yes, failure. It's not the end of the world. It's the foundation of growth. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he'd given up the first time a light bulb didn't work. Failure is a teacher, not a reflection of your worth. Try something new, mess it up, and celebrate the fact that you showed up and gave it a shot. Progress matters more than perfection. Next, shift your focus to gratitude. Every day, write down 3 things you're proud of, no matter how small. Maybe you helped a friend, completed a task, or just got through a tough day. Gratitude helps you see what's going right, instead of obsessing over what went wrong. I started doing this a year ago, and it changed my life. I realized that even on my hardest days, there were things to celebrate, like the courage to try or the kindness I showed myself. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that you're human, and that's enough. Another important step is setting boundaries. Stop expecting yourself to do it all. Perfectionists often think they need to be everything for everyone, but that's simply impossible. Set realistic goals. If you have 10 things on your to-do list, ask yourself, what truly matters today? Focus on those things and let the rest go. Remind yourself that good enough is often more than enough. When you stop chasing perfection, you make room for the things that truly matter: connection, joy, and self-love. Now let's talk about comparison. This is a big one. Perfectionism thrives on comparing yourself to others, whether it's on social media, at work, or even within your family. But comparison is the thief of joy. You don't see the full picture of someone else's life, you only see the highlight reel. So why measure your worth against something that's not even real? Instead, focus on your journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small it feels. Remember, your story is uniquely yours, and that's what makes it beautiful. Here's the beautiful truth. Imperfection is what makes us human. It's what makes us relatable, lovable, and real. The cracks in our armor are where the light gets in. When we let go of perfectionism, we allow ourselves to be authentic. Imagine a life where you're not paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes, a life where you can laugh at your quirks, embrace your flaws, and see the beauty in your imperfections. That life is possible. And here's one last thing to consider. Perfectionism often comes from a place of wanting to be loved or accepted, but the people who truly love you, they don't care if you're perfect. And when you allow yourself to show up as you are, flaws and all, you give them permission to do the same. So, what's one small step you'll take today to embrace imperfection? Maybe it's sharing your ideas without overthinking them. Maybe it's allowing yourself to rest instead of pushing for more. Or maybe it's telling yourself, I am enough, and believing it because it's true. If this message resonates with you, leave a comment below and share one thing you're letting go of today. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Together, let's let go of the chains of perfectionism and step into the freedom of living authentically, because you are enough, just as you are, and the world needs your imperfect, beautiful light. Until next time, keep shining. You've got this.